In our society that's obsessed with new, a lot of great products end up getting lost in the shuffle simply because they've lost their novelty of being the latest release. So today, I don't want to talk about anything new. I want to talk about some older drugstore makeup favorites that still have so much to offer in 2023, even as trends have changed. And some of them have even turned around and gone viral again more recently. So let's jump in, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. This first older drugstore makeup favorite is a classic. It was so popular when I started watching beauty videos on YouTube back in 2006, and it just went viral again on TikTok last year. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, specifically in the white shade called Milk. So when I was learning how to do makeup for the first time in middle and high school, this was the go-to eyeshadow base. Anybody who did makeup on YouTube was using this under their eyeshadow. So this is basically a cream shadow stick, but the formula is so good, and it just is a testament to why it's been around so long and why they keep selling it. First of all, this white shade is so nice and pure. It really holds its own. You get a lot of pigment here, but why this works so well under your eyeshadow is not only does the white shade really enhance the pigment of your shadows, but it blends out so nicely and so smoothly that it actually makes your blending look better, all the while giving your shadow something to stick to, really enhancing its vibrancy as well as its lasting power. Now, I mentioned how this went viral on TikTok last year, and it actually wasn't for eye use. The younger generation of beauty lovers are actually using this as a highlight stick because, again, it blends so beautifully into the skin and you can sheer it out to an extent. It actually works really well as a precision highlighter. And even though it's white, it does not look stark or harsh once you blend it out, especially into your contour. It really adds a nice softly highlighted effect. If you've been watching my channel for a few years or you've watched any of my old videos, then this palette will probably be no stranger to you, the BH Cosmetics Hangin in Hawaii palette. Now, if you're plugged into beauty brand news, then you may know that BH Cosmetics actually went under during the pandemic and Makeup Revolution bought the brand, and they've continued to produce some of BH Cosmetics' most popular products, including this palette. It just has a different packaging look now, but it's the same shades, the same formula. A lot of great neutral shades. We've got taupes and browns and sandy champagnes, but also pops of orange and pink. This is what I would consider neutral, but not boring. Also, there is a mix of warm and cool neutrals all in one palette here, which I think is really nice for building out your collection. And this kind of just offers a little bit of everything. So not only do I really like the color story here, but they've balanced it out between mattes and shimmers really well. The shimmers almost look more metallic, actually. And the mattes are so creamy and pigmented. In the past, I have compared this eyeshadow formula to the Tarte Amazonian Clay shadows. I feel like they are so similar in texture. They are buttery smooth. So this is gonna be one of those Old Faithful palettes that I feel like will always be in my collection as long as they keep making it. This next product is still one of my favorites to reach for when I want a very warm, vacation glow. This is the Ulta Beauty Collection Sculpt and Glow 3-in-1 palette. So these have bronzers, blushes, and highlights. Now, there are several different shades of this, although there have been some that were introduced and then discontinued, and I feel like this was one of them. This one is called Hawaiian Sunrise, but there are still 3 different shade versions, I believe, on the website. The bronzers in these palettes specifically are so glowy, but not sparkly. They really add that sun-kissed look. I love using it in my hairline, like the perimeters of the face. Now, depending on the shade, you might be able to contour with the bronzer, but most of them do lean a bit warmer, so they might not work the best for that purpose. But these add warmth without making me look orange. As far as the blush and highlight, I like those as well. They are on the more subtle side. I used the highlight today, and as you can see, it's not beaming, it's not metallic, but when it catches the light, there's this beautiful soft radiance. This is a very usable palette, very beginner friendly, and even though they don't have this specific shade anymore, the one called California Sunlight looks very similar. Staying on the bronzer train, this old school drugstore makeup favorite is still still something that I prefer over a lot of newer releases. This is the Wet n Wild MegaGlo Makeup Stick. I personally use the shade Where's Walnut. This comes in highlighters, blushes, contours, bronzers. A lot of them do lean a bit warmer. I've found that Where's Walnut is neutral enough that I can use it to both bronze and contour with. I am very much a bronzer type person. Bronzer and contour do totally different things, but I just don't have it in me to use two different products. So my game is always trying to find bronzers or contours that I can kind of use as both. And this is definitely one of them. This is super creamy, very pigmented, but blends out really, really easily. I would say that this is a pretty beginner-friendly contour stick. I really like using this for nose contouring because it blends out so well. I'm not left with two brown lines in the middle of my face. This is also very versatile in that you can sheer it out really easily, but you can also build it up if you want a more strong appearance. That's why I really like recommending this to beginners to cream contour. It's really hard to mess this up. Now, this is another drugstore makeup product that I feel like had such a chokehold on the beauty community like 8-10 years ago, and they are still so great, but nobody really talks about them. These are the Milani Baked Powder Blushes. I feel like these sort of fell into obscurity once matte makeup took over. Like between 2014 and 18, everything on the face was matte. But with glowier makeup coming back in style, I think that these are more relevant than ever. My favorite shade is Rose d'Oro. This is a warm pink with gold shimmer to it that is just stunning. And the thing is, when you look at these blushes, you might be put off by the amount of shimmer that you see, but I feel like once you actually put it on the skin, it's not super sparkly. It's not really noticeable. It just makes it glowy and catch the light in a gorgeous way. I'll just swatch a few here. So today I'm using Rose d'Oro, which is this one, definitely more of a coral leaning medium pink. This one's called Dolce Pink, another super popular one. This one is probably the more frostier leaning of the three that I have. And then this one is called Luminoso. This one's a beautiful peach shade. And that one is more satin. There's absolutely no shimmer in that one. But yeah, Rose d'Oro is probably my most used shade year round. This last older drugstore makeup favorite, I feel like came out before their time, but now they're finally gaining recognition and recently went viral on TikTok. These are the Revlon Super Lustrous Glass Shine Lipsticks. Now these came out like mid 2020 and nobody was wearing lipsticks. We were staying at home. We were wearing masks, and especially when it came to glossy lipsticks, like that was not going on under a face covering. So even though I tested these when they first came out, I raved about them, I really loved them, they didn't really catch on. They came out at the wrong time for lipsticks. But now with glossy looks being so in, I feel like they are being rediscovered, or I guess discovered for the first time for a lot of people, and finally they're having their time to shine. So specifically, there's one shade that is getting really popular. It's called Rum Raisin. It's the one that I'm wearing today. And this is just a really beautiful sort of reddish brown. It kind of depends on your skin tone, how it's going to translate. And with that, I feel like it looks amazing on every skin tone. There has not been one person that has worn this lipstick that I'm like, that's not your shade. No, it looks beautiful on everybody. They're almost like a lip gloss in a tube because you get this uber shiny and glossy finish. They feel like very melty lip balms, so comfortable to wear. Now with that said, because they are glossy, they're not transfer proof. Some of the shades in the line do stain, more of the brighter ones. This one will give you like a little bit of warmth to the lips as it fades away as you're eating or drinking. But you probably will find yourself reapplying this throughout the day, but I don't even mind because as I mentioned, this is like a lipstick, gloss, and balm all in one. It feels so good on the lips that it is something that I would want to reapply anyway. So that is Rum Raisin, but I did want to shout out another one of my favorite shades from this line called Glossed Up Rose. Again, a great everyday shade. This one is definitely more pink, but it stays neutral enough. Again, depending on your skin tone, it might look a little bit stronger or more neutral, but this is another one of my most worn shades from this, and they do have the slightest bit of sheerness to them. They're not an opaque color, so that's why your skin tone kind of adjusts the shade. Now, these have also been classified as dupes for the YSL Rouge Shine lipsticks, and I did actually test these side by side with that YSL lipstick in a past dupe video, so I will link that below if you want to watch it. So I want to know, what are some of your older drugstore makeup favorites that maybe have fallen into obscurity? People don't really talk about them on the internet anymore, but they still deserve the hype. Tell me in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Artworks Legacy. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I give one last shot to makeup I've been on the fence about. Will I declutter them? Find out. I'll see you over there. Bye.